This is the Mac I've been waiting for. Let's check out the new 14-inch MacBook Pro today. Hi, this is David of Tech for Baba, a channel I share my experiences on how technology enhances my time with kids and family as a dad. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Just a quick unboxing video and first impressions of the new 14-inch MacBook Pro today. At the end of the video, I'll share why I think this least expensive model may be the sweet spot for many who want a powerful yet portable computer for editing family photos and videos like me. By the way, I picked this one up at the Apple Park Visitor Center this afternoon. A great place to visit if you're ever in Cupertino, even if you're not buying anything. There's a little cafe with legit good coffee, and a rooftop terrace with an awesome view of the Apple spaceship. Okay, can't wait any longer. Let's get into it. Unlike the new iPhones, the MacBook box still comes in a plastic wrap. The box is white with a picture of the 14-inch MacBook Pro and its new wallpaper. Inside the box, there it is, wrapped in paper. There's a darker circle around the Apple logo on the paper for some reason. Oh yeah, definitely heavier and bulkier than the 13-inch MacBook Pro as expected. Besides the laptop, there's a new MagSafe cable. Looks like these cables are all white ones, not in various matching colors like the new iMacs. It's braided, which is great. It has USB-C on one end and the thinner MagSafe 3 connector on the other. I'm so glad Apple brought back the MagSafe connector on the MacBook. There's the usual paperwork, but the Apple stickers are black instead since this is a Pro model. The power adapter included in this base model is just 67 watts. It's nice and small, but I recommend considering spending just $20 more to get the beefier 96-watt adapter for the ability to quick charge the MacBook to 50% battery level in just 30 minutes. Alright, let's look at the new 14-inch MacBook Pro. There is now an indented MacBook Pro written on the bottom of the laptop. And these feet are much larger for better ventilation, I think. There are also long slot vents on both sides and on the back for cooling. I'm glad Apple prioritized functionality a bit more this time around on these Pro machines. The new body is boxier, similar to the older MacBooks. And the ports are back. That's a huge reason I'm so excited about this new MacBook Pro. On the left, there's the MagSafe 3 charging port, two USB-C Thunderbolt 4 ports, and an upgraded headphone jack. On the right, there is a HDMI port, another USB-C Thunderbolt 4 port, and yes, thankfully, an SD card finally, so I no longer need to stress about having a dongle with me all the time. Let's open it up. It's nice that MacBooks come partially charged, so it just turns on. The keyboard now sits in a black keyboard well. I heard at the Apple Park Visitor Center this afternoon that it's designed this way so we feel like we are typing in the air with just the backlit of the keys. Cool, we'll have to check that out later. I love how the function keys are back and they're now full-size keys. Okay, let's see that new screen. The best one yet on a MacBook. Not a big deal, but always satisfying to peel off this protective sheet. There it is. Yep, that notch as advertised. I think it'll take a while for me to get used to it, but I'd always take thinner bezels and bigger screen areas any day. And I'm glad Apple finally upgraded the front-facing camera to 1080p. Another good reason for the notch, I think. It's too bad that there is no Face ID yet. The notch seemed big enough. Maybe on next year's model. In any case, I prefer the dark theme, so the notch shouldn't be too obvious, I hope. Enough on the notch. The screen has been massively upgraded to Liquid Retina XDR, similar to the latest 12.9-inch iPad Pro and Apple's very expensive $6,000 XDR display. Yeah, the one with the $1,000 stand. It's a bright one at 1000 nits sustain and 1600 nits peak brightness with 1,000,000 to 1 contrast ratio. For the first time on a Mac, there's ProMotion with adaptive refresh rate up to 120 Hz like the latest iPad Pros and the iPhone 13 Pros. There's so many things I like already about this new MacBook Pro, and we haven't even talked about what's inside this incredible machine. They're the M1 Pro or the M1 Max chips, which are last year's M1 chip on steroids. I can't wait to experience it soon after this video. There are now 16GB, 32GB, and whopping 64GB unified memory options. The internal SSD storage, which unfortunately is just as expensive, is now so fast with 7.4GB per second transfer speed that external SSD drives can no longer come close. I'll probably check that one out first and post a video soon, so subscribe to the channel if you're interested. As with last year's M1 Max, these M1 Pro and M1 Max machines are not just fast. They have unheard of power efficiency. The 14-inch I have here can do 17 hours of video playback or 11 hours of web browsing. The speakers and mics have also been upgraded on these new MacBook Pros. The mics have a 60% lower noise floor, and the 6-speaker system has 4 woofers with 80% more bass. One great thing about this year's MacBook Pro is the 14-inch could be spec'd up to the same config as the 16-inch. The 16-inch can probably run faster longer due to its larger body, and there's a high power mode on the 16-inch that can supposedly boost its performance a bit further. We'll have to see by how much when the comparisons come out. The model I have here is the least expensive 14-inch MacBook Pro. It has an 8-core CPU, 14-core GPU, 16GB of memory, and 512GB of SSD storage for $1999 US. Aside from even faster processor options, more memory, and more storage, it has all the other upgrades. All the same ports, same bright and high quality display with ProMotion, yeah, and the same notch too. Same mics, same speakers, and same long battery life. Now even this least expensive 14-inch MacBook Pro is still expensive. If you're looking for a general purpose laptop for web browsing, emails, documents, and notes, I still think the base M1 MacBook Air is the best bang for the buck. You can check out my earlier videos on the M1 Max here and in the description below. Now, if you want more performance for more intensive tasks like 4K video editing, I think this least expensive 14-inch MacBook Pro is worth considering over the 13-inch MacBook Pro. At the same 16GB of memory and SSD storage options, I get so many upgrades for just $300 more. Of course, there are now more expensive and more powerful options, but at about $2,000, this is a great choice for a dad like me who edits family photos and videos from mirrorless cameras, well, and YouTube videos here and there. Thanks for watching. If you find this video helpful, please support me by hitting that like button and sharing this video with your friends. Are you also considering the 14-inch or the 16-inch MacBook Pros? I'd love to see what config you end up getting in the comment section below. If you want to see more videos on the new MacBook Pros, or how technology can enhance our life with kids and family, please subscribe and turn on the bell to be notified when I put out my next video. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, remember to cherish each moment.